Hey, Mark the Guitar Guy here, back with another video for you guys. I'm wanting to continue the strumming funky style theme, as you probably heard in the little thing I was doing there. By the way, all these things that I do before the videos, I just make them up. I know people ask, hey, how do you do that? What are the chords? Sometimes I have no idea. I just do something funky in the style of what I'm thinking of that I want to show you, and I hopefully am able to put that across. Hopefully that makes sense. So we're continuing on with the funky stuff that we're doing with the right hand, because a lot of students, when they look at my playing or hear my playing, and they watch my right hand, my left hand, doing whatever's doing down here, and there is stuff happening, and it's very interesting for the eye, but actually the magic is happening in my strum. And all my videos, most of the theme that comes across is what's happening with the right hand technique, with the strums, and the percussiveness of what's happening there is actually the bit that makes people feel good. Because the left bit is just some notes that are being guided. And what I've found is if you're playing funky, the sort of funky style of rhythm, you don't actually have to do much with the left hand. You can do tiny little things, but they just sound so cool. And you can apply it to electric. Obviously this is on electric guitar. This is if you're playing in a band. This is if you're jamming with someone, or you're at home by yourself, or just simply doing a solo gig by yourself playing some guitar. It just sounds super cool. So it's that rhythmic side of things with the right hand. So we touched on in the last video, or in a later video, earlier video I should say, about this idea just doing one note and getting a funky rhythm happening. So what we're going to do is develop that with the amount of different ways you can do rhythms with the right hand. Now if we've got a bar of music, say like a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, within that we've got a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, you'll hear that with drummers, they'll say that a lot, that 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, or taka 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 taka. Okay, so there's 4 beats within a bar of music, and I'm accenting the 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. So within that there's a lot of beats. So I can pull out any one of those beats and it can be part of my funky little riff. So let's say we're doing something, and let's say we'll make it in the key of E, we'll make it E7 because it's more funky sounding, like it. So if you imagine that groove in your head right now, that sort of dong, my 1E and a 2E and are all in there, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Straight away, if you just start playing along with that groove with just the right hand and doing fingers over the strings, you're going to lock into the groove of what's happening. And that right hand should be very loose, very relaxed, and very feathery. And whenever you want to pull out a note, you can hear those real obvious differences between the strong beats and the weak beats. That bit is what's going to make your playing funky. So it's about getting the right hand, the difference between an accented note and a ghost note, really obvious. Like a ghost note would just be a feathery couple of strings maybe, and then a strong beat will be when you actually dig right in with a little bit more grip on the pick and you play that note, or play that string, or play the whole lot of strings with a bit more aggression. You can hear some strings ringing and stuff, that's normal. So all I'm doing with the left hand is pretty boring, I'm just putting my fingers over the strings. Now already, just by doing that in a solo, that can actually be part of your solo. I've done that many times when they're like, I do a solo, and the bassist player's like, and the drummer's, and so in that, already there's lots of fun stuff happening, but just locking into that with my right hand. And I'm moving my body and everything's limbering up, and then as soon as I play a note, it's going to be somewhere cool. So all that stuff that I'm doing there is with the right hand, and the left hand's just adding a few notes in here and there, okay? So that's one thing that's happening. It's the right hand accenting different parts. So if we broke that down just to the right hand, not to the left hand, what's happening here, I'm just going to do some tickety-tockety stuff, like 1E and a 2E and etc. But I'm going to put accents in different spots during that, okay? So here's the beat, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, here I go. Now that sounds busy, but all I was doing was thinking, I'm just thinking like that and trying to get my right hand to do that rhythm. Now if I was to add notes wherever those accents were, it sounds super cool. I'm just going to use an E minor pentatonic scale, so I'm going to use that scale, which is I think I call it the third scale shape. Fourth scale shape. It's the fourth scale shape of the pentatonic shapes. If you look at my videos, you'll know what I mean. So I'm just going to pick a few notes, not a lot out of that, probably 2 or 3 notes. We'll see what happens. I'm just going to do the same thing with my right hand and then pick some notes out. So. Get the idea? So I'm just picking notes out of that one little easy scale shape. Some notes are long, some notes are short, which is another thing we'll get into in another video. However, the right hand was just whatever I was feeling, that's where I'd put those notes. Something cool and fun to have a little play at. It adds so much more to your soloing than just being a... which is still cool, but somehow putting that in there, so for some reason, that's just so much more, it feels so much better. So if you like that lesson and you like those sorts of lessons, please subscribe and go and check out myself and all my lessons and all this style of teaching at jamorama.com. That way you can get access to me and we can have a bit more of a relationship going on. In the meantime, hopefully you're getting that funky strum down and we'll see you again soon.